my beautiful people. I decided to come out in nature to be able to share with you what Life is Living channel is about. I wanted to let you know that Life is Living is me. It's who I am. And so I meditated today, and as I was meditating this morning, I started to have some revelations and asking myself, well, who am I? So who am I? And I answered the question, who am I? And I said, I'm compassionate. I'm love. I'm selfless. I love to be of service to others. And then I started to strip that down. Well, again, the question was asked, who am I? And I said, I am love. I am someone that wants to be loved, such as we all want to be loved, and that we all want to be of service. And then the question came again, okay, everyone wants to be loved. I am love. Everyone wants to give and to do something for others, but who am I? And so I dug deeper and I said, I am who I am. And so what does that mean? I am a part of who made me, God. I'm a part of the essence. I am a part of existence. So who am I? And I stripped again, kept stripping and stripping, and I realized that I am living. And it dawned on me, that's why I decided to actually name the YouTube channel Life is Living, because I am who I am, and that is, I like to be of service, so that's who I am. I am love, that's who I am. I am selfless, that's who I am. And then the question, started to, resonate, this is who I am. I don't have to be anything for anybody but to be for who I am to myself, and that is to be my best self. And so Life is Living, the name actually came about. I was speaking to my son at the age of 7. This was his 7th birthday, and every year I would say, what does it feel like to be 5? What does it feel like to be 6? Well, on his 7th birthday, this was early in the morning. We were getting ready to go to school at that time. My son is now 16. And so at that time I said, so what is 7? What does it feel like to be 7? And he said to me, life is living. A 7-year-old to say life is living, that sat with me till today. And today, that's when I said, you know what? If I have this TV channel, Life is Living, I have to be able to be my best self, and meaning my best self, meaning being true to you all. And why do I want to have it with the 10 million TV channels that are out there already? For me to be honest with who I am. So when you see me going out and about in the community, that's what I'm doing. I'm living my life. I'm enjoying my life, but I'm also seeing others who are doing the same as well. And I believe we need to be our authentic self. So whatever that means to you, that's a question that you need to ask. How truthful can you be? And I figure that if I can put this out there in the world, in the social media world, and ask the question and then be the most vulnerable, who am I? Then I have to live up to that. Then that has to resonate with me. How many of you can do the same and say to yourself, who am I? Not just in the walls of your home or in your mind, but just to be able to be your authentic self and to accept that. I accept who I am. I love who I am. I love who I am turning into. So when I say, who am I? I'm in love with me. I'm in love with me because the more that I do self-care of me, that way I can be authentic and as well as good to others. When I say I want to be of service, what does that mean? Getting, in touch with your inner child. Also in my revelation this morning, life is living for me. My father passed away. We're going on a 2nd year that's coming around this Christmas time. that he's passed away. And so when I saw this strong man become so vulnerable and so frail, this man who always had a smile on his face, who always was of service, and I asked the question, who am I? I am that. That's who I am, and that is what I am doing. And you get to see yourself through your parents. You saw how your parents were. When you're young, you always say, oh, I'm not going to listen to my parents, or I'm not going to be like my parents. But you know what? The foundation, you can't get away from the foundation and the DNA in itself, and that becomes who you are. So I am my father. I am my mother. I am my aunts, my uncles, my ancestors. I am. That's who I am. And that's a part of the universal DNA. The most humblest part about my father transitioning was that he was ready and accepting. My father is a Christian, or was a Christian. And I like to say is because his essence is still here. I feel like his presence is still here with me. As you see me, as you see him. And so therefore, I know that he's not in the physical form, but he's still here. He's here in my children. He's here in my siblings. He's here, my mother, So it's still an extension of him here, but just not in the physical form. And so my father taught me through the process of him transitioning that it's okay. It's a part of life. He had a smile on his face. We knew that when we were all around him and we were singing, and my mom was holding his hand and just stroking his hand, is that he was already transitioned on, but he was also still there in a sense that he wanted all his children to be with him. And so therefore, when he knew that everyone was there who he wanted to be there, that's when he was ready to go on. And that morning before he actually transitioned from us, he called my name out. He was calling other my brother that already transitioned on as well, called him. And so he was calling people that were already passed on. And when he called my name, I went over there to him just to hold him, and then he went quiet again. And then later on the day, as the day progressed, he started to, in the physical sense, transition on. And so we celebrated that. It was wonderful. He was a great community change agent. He would give you the clothes off his back. And so when I go back to that's who I am, that's who I am. When you're kept stripping, well, who am I? I am my father's child. I am someone that wants to be of service. I am someone that wants to put a smile on the face of someone else. I am someone that is selfless. I'm sitting in the park around nature. So that's who I am. And then I decided, my father also used to film. His filming was going to church and filming what was going on in church. And so now I see myself, I'm not doing exactly what he's doing, but in a way I am, but it's just a different format. He was, doing it in the church sense of it, and going to church and filming speakers or himself speaking, and bringing the good word. And I'm coming from the part of I'm bringing a service of wanting people to uplift people spiritually, health and wellness, going out and having fun, being a part of the community, seeing others, being a part of the community, seeing practitioners, providers, entrepreneurs. That's the whole format of what Life is Living is. That's what the show is to be. And then to know that it can evolve into anything differently, and to be open to that and to be flexible. That's a lot of the times that we have to learn how to be flexible. A lot of times we're not flexible. We're so rigid in our way, and we're so rigid in our plan or our business plan, and it can certainly change because no day is the same. So we must treat each day as it is in present and move with it. Be flexible with it. This morning I didn't know I was going to be here given a bio, but I was led. My spiritual guide said, as I was meditating, get out there and let the people know what life is living is. You can't, want to say that you want to speak about spirituality, you want to speak about health and wellness, you want to speak about enjoying the community, people enjoying life and just living life, or going to see other practitioners or providers and how they are being of service. But people have to know who you are. So if you can be your authentic self and not be afraid to be your authentic self, and it's all that what encompasses of who you are. Life is living. As you can see some of the people in the background, I am at Durant Nature Park, and I am just enjoying being out here. It's something about nature. When you connect with nature, you become your true authentic self, because at the end of the day, when we do decide, well, we don't decide, do we? When it's time for us to transition on and we've done all we can do in this realm here, we move on to the next. And so it's just, to be ready to move on to the next. Have you done everything that you wanted to do? Have you lived your life the way that you wanted to live? Have you been the best self to yourself? Have you accomplished whatever you wanted to accomplish in life? I say no stones unturned, and that's what I learned is that you have to live your best life. I can't say that enough. Is that you have to be true to self. And also what we as a people must do is to start coming together, uplifting one another, believing in one another, staying encouraged, being of encouragement. So that's what life is living. Life is living can change at any given moment. You can be your best self. You can be happy. Next minute you can be sad. But it's how you navigate in life to keep yourself on the right track and to surround yourself around positive people. And that's also what the channel is about, is being positive, staying positive, being in tune with what's going on, and being able to listen to that spiritual guide, or whatever you call it for yourself, that inner voice that guides you. A lot of the times we have so much going on in our head, but we're guided, but it's so noisy that we can't hear what's going on. So I want to thank you for the time listening to me. I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you also are encouraged to put out there in social media. I'm going to challenge you. Let's do a challenge. I'm going to challenge you to do a bio. Doesn't have to be long and winded, of asking the question, who am I? And being able to put that out there and to trust it. It's for you. It's not for anybody else. So who cares what people say? Who cares about what the comments are? Ask yourself, who am I? Put it out there on video. Share it with me. You can follow me on Facebook, Andora Pyatt. You can go to my YouTube channel, Life is Living, or Andora Pyatt, Andora Pyatt, Pyatt. And I'd love to hear from you. Any suggestions, any practitioner providers that's out there that would like to be a guest on the show, please, by all means, reach out to me. Life is Living.